Well, the stage is lit and the champions are set to take that stage as Terminix La Horquetta Rangers come up against Deportivo Point Fortin here at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground, the home of the champions. Welcome everybody. This is the Ascension Tournament Match Week 17, the penultimate week in the competition, and one that already has a champion that will be crowned tonight. Well, just a few minutes ago, the anthem, "We Are the Champions," rung out around the ground, and well, they would hope to continue in an unbeaten vein. They are the only unbeaten team in the competition, the home team Terminix Rangers. Lots to play for them. For their challengers from Deep South Deportivo Point Fortin, well, second place certainly within their view, just 4 points away from second with 2 match days remaining, and they would be hoping to do what no team has done so far in the competition and beat the guys in red. Hello everybody, my name is James Saunders, and joining me in commentary this evening is former Trinidad and Tobago World Cup defender Brent Sancho, who had a chance to speak to some of the coaches earlier.
Coach, undefeated Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, difficult proposition?
Yeah, well, we know Rangers is the top team within the tournament, everything. Congrats to them. And we expect them to be professional and continue to fight hard because, I mean, they already achieved 1 goal, they won the tournament. And I think they will want to go unbeaten. So I think they will come out hard as usual and give us a good game.
Is there enough motivation in your locker room to go out and get 3 points today?
Yeah. I mean, we still have positions to play for, you know. So we had the added incentive of the Caribbean Ascension League. So we have motivation.
Of course, as you go into this encounter, what are the keys to the game for Deportivo Point Fortin?
Well, we have to start off early. What we want to do is start off early and make sure we play our game and control all what we can control, and that's how we play our style. We cannot afford to let Rangers dictate how we play. So we intend to try to maintain our game as much as possible.
Well, Coach Selvon, all the best to you and your team in tonight's fixture.
Okay, thanks, man.
Tournament, and of course the man behind Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, champions finally. Congratulations, well deserved.
Well, I think the team has worked hard. We normally train about 24 hours a week, 3 times a week, 8 hours a day. So they have worked very, very hard. And I think the squad is also a deep one. It's not it's about 30 players deep, and they have worked very hard, so I think they deserve it. I think the coaching staff and so on has really helped. You know, Dave Kwameda has been tactically very, very good. Anthony Marcano has brought a specific technical aspect to the coaching staff. And of course, Leslie Russell is that motivation as well in the locker room. So they have done well.
Well, you've already won the tournament, a big fixture here tonight against Deportivo Point Fortin. Is there motivation? Is there a drive, that thrust to continue on being undefeated in this tournament?
Well, it's very, very, they are very motivated. You know, I left the locker room a few minutes ago, and you know, they still have a lot of stuff to play for. One is the fact that they want to reach the most goals, right? So Atula, Guerra, and Corbin, you know, they want to reach that, so they're striving. They still have the most valuable player to play for, as well as the fact they want to remain undefeated.
Well, of course, Coach Ferguson, Head Ferguson, the man in charge, Mr. Ferguson, all the best to you and your team in tonight's fixture.
Great, thanks a lot, Brent.
What we heard from the Masters, lots of motivation to play for. Let's look at the cast really quickly. It's Deportivo Point Fortin. They've got a full cast led by Marvin Phillip at the back, Andre Etienne. On top, Omri Baird, Jordan Riley would lead the attack together with Nathaniel Garcia, while on the bench, Houghton Hector will come off. For Terminix Rangers, well, much of the same for them. Ikem Andrews gets a start this evening, recovering from a hamstring injury, while Kyle Thomas and Real Gill is in the starting lineup together with Atula Guerra and Kadeem Corbin, who will be looking for the most goals. So it is all set and ready, and it is time for action. 4th place, Deportivo Point Fortin against Terminix Rangers. Well, I don't know about you, but we certainly expect an exciting matchup this evening. Two teams who have dazzled in the competition. At the moment, however, one have already been crowned the champions. The other aiming to be runners-up. Of course, they've still got to get past Defense Force and Police. Oh, and get past Marvin Phillips. Already, intentions have been shared. Good evening to all of our viewers. Locked on across the Caribbean on Sportsmax, at Scene TV in North America, and of course CCN TV6 right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, Jordan Riley. Early answer back. Now what a match we've had. We've barely had a minute and a half. Corbin Sancho is alongside me, former TNT International and World Cup player. What are the keys to this match? What is the motivation for Deportivo coming up against the already crowned champions Rangers?
Well, there must be a feeling within the changing room at Deportivo Point Fortin that they can be the team to obviously spoil the page of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, undefeated so far in this tournament. And if there's any team that can change that narrative, it's Deportivo Point Fortin. Certainly from a Rangers point of view, we heard from their chief in command, Mr. Richard Ferguson, about, of course, what they still have to play for. And he listed at least 3 or 4. So motivation is there for both teams. It's a really interesting game tactically, and I think more importantly in terms of the talent that's on the field as well. It's a rare assortment of talent in the various departments, so I do expect a very intriguing encounter, and we've already seen that, and we've not been 5 minutes in yet.
Yes, Corbin, competition's 3rd highest scorer, Terminix Rangers' 2nd highest scorer. Getting to the top of that pile certainly might be at the top of his mind and priority this evening. Of course, the Golden Boot race, it's wide open at the moment. Brent Sam of the Defense Force, he sits at the top, 15 goals. Tula Guerra, 3 goals behind him in 2nd. And they've got Jamil Boatswain and Kadeem Corbin, all of which have 2 remaining match days to best each other. Oh, little, but he's a rough boy, Isaiah Garcia. Jamal Crichton, Daniel David. Here's Ikem Andrews, showing no signs of the hamstring troubles that plagued them all tournament. Here's Guerra. Andre Etienne cleans up the spill, and Jordan Riley will go a foot race with Emmanuel Thomas. Oh, what a challenge that was from Thomas. Don't be fooled by his size. Become more rugged in small packages these days.
That's going to be an interesting battle, James. Riley with his pace and his craft and his 1v1 ability, and of course Emmanuel with his doggedness and his ruggedness as well. Explosive little package, that's for sure.
And Nathaniel Garcia, open doors. Well, he certainly flew over the door that time. Need much more from him, the elder brother of national players, Levi and Judah Garcia. He's been a real addition to this Deportivo team. He's contributed 4 goals to midfield, including perhaps the free kick of the tournament. Hopefully we can get to look back at some of those by the final match day. Speaking of goals, we've certainly seen some really beautiful goals in this tournament.
Yeah, well struck, well timed, and of course well executed goals we've seen. Class moments. And as we look at this Deportivo team, James, a team that came into this tournament, certainly fitness was a concern when it first started, and as the tournament progressed, they became one of the more feared teams in the tournament. And you have to think, if they had started the tournament with the fitness levels that they would have needed to start with, they may have been challenging for the title.
Isaiah Hudson. That's good footwork. Omri Bed. Garcia. Oh, it's a heavy challenge. And look to the referee, Jesse McDonald, for some help.
Well, I'm not sure what he was looking for, but it's as clear a free kick as you would ever see. It wasn't only just late, it was high, and it was dangerous.
Oswald, that ends well. Garcia stands guard over this one. Oh, goodness me. Tell you what, that had more movement than a Colombian belly dancer. St. Hilaire was up to the task to deal with it.
Well, I'm sure St. Hilaire has been to Colombia because he was able to track that movement.
Oh, has he been to Carnival?
And I wondered if he was going to go direct to goal. There's the answer. Look at the movement and that. St. Hilaire getting his body behind it and eventually strong hands behind it as well.
Riley couldn't find Garcia. Well, that came out of nothing, Brent Sancho. Looked innocuous at best.
And powerful. Worse. For the viewer's sake, it may look like a straightforward save, but it was nothing but.
Gotta give credit to St. Hilaire as well. Kept his eyes on it all the way.
And he kept his body behind it, most importantly. We've seen those squirm on the goalkeepers before. Didn't allow that.
Can Hudson create some problems for the home team? Well, Chico's effort is wayward. Well, they've been under assault and they've started an attack of their own this time. Kiera finding Marvin Phillip. Difficult opponent to beat. Of course, both know each other from Trinidad and Tobago's senior national team. Spent several years playing together. Well, this could be interesting. Time Thomas, oh, clever. Isaiah Garcia, however, he's no pushover. How about Emmanuel Thomas? Did get past him, Jordan Riley. Couldn't get past Leslie Russell. Andre Etienne. Jordan Riley. Daniel Garcia has gotten in behind Thomas. And this time he needed it to swerve the other direction. Didn't have to move like Jagger this time. Did find space though.
Well, he found space, and if there was anyone on that pitch in a Deportivo shirt that you'd want in that position, was that man. And he just couldn't find the net. The idea was there. Just felt from an execution standpoint that was the man to make it happen, and he didn't. It's a good ball.
What about Corbin? Always the man for the job. He is the man you call when you want the job done. They call him the handyman. They call him Kadeem Corbin. And they call that goal number 10.
And when this ball was delivered in the box, the Deportivo Point Fortin defenders were asleep. But that man there in your picture, Kadeem Corbin, he was well awake. And what an emphatic finish there by Kadeem Corbin. Top finish by a marksman that's in form.
Goal number 11 for Kadeem Corbin in the competition. Got the inches closer. Goal number 11 in the 12th minute. How special would it have been in the 11th minute?
Well, he can still use it as a playway mark tomorrow.
I don't know much about those, but I can tell you that he's certainly done enough to win the jackpot for Rangers all season. That form of his front of goal. Well, that man has been special, but the man behind him, Kadeem Corbin, how good has he been in this tournament?
Well, we talked about the results that Terminix La Horquetta Rangers have had, and how many times, James, when it looked like it was only 1 point and they walked away with all three because of this man on the ball.
Well, it's a cruel game of football. Doesn't matter how much possession you've got, how many chances you've created. It only takes one for the opposing team to get it in the back of the net. That's what Rangers did.
And what has separated him from other attackers is that he's created a lot of his opportunities on his own. In moments where you felt the shooting opportunity is not there, or he may have, of course, pushed the ball too far away from the goal to have a good strike on it. He's still been able to score. And in those sorts of moments that we just saw for the opening goal, he's been clinical. It's very rare we've seen him miss from those opportunities. That really is the sign of a good marksman. And if you were questioning why Terminix La Horquetta Rangers have been so dominant, just look at the goal scoring chart. Atula Guerre on 12 and Corbin on 11. That's what you want. 23 goals between two marksmen. And not all the time they've played 90 minutes. That's for sure.
That's the scary part. Well, here's Isaiah Garcia. Better defending, but can he open the door for his team? And St-Hilaire shot it just as quickly as it was. What a game.
Well, I would warn our viewers up front that this Deportivo team is not going to lie down, that's for sure. There's enough quality in that squad, not only to bring back the scores level, but to go on.
Here's a good chance. Oh, Sinclair, rare fumble from him. Did manage to hold on in the end. What a goalkeeper he's grown to be, Jabari Sinclair. I can tell you that the reserve keeper for this team, no slouch, Jabari Bryce, former national youth keeper. Just tells you the quality of man in goal for Terminix Rangers. He was rewarded with a national cap in the Nations League. But he's called to the squad rather. Hasn't officially played just yet, but he was recognized.
And you're right, credit has to be given. From a national team perspective, he was nowhere in the picture. And certainly his exploits in this tournament has rewarded him with a placement in the squad, as we see that man there, Houghton Hector, to the immediate right in the screen. Is he gonna play a part in this one? Such an integral part to this Point Fortin team, of course, coming off an injury. I'll tell you what, James, they've certainly missed him.
Yeah, he's been a big cog in the wheel of Point Fortin. Here's another talent, Kayam Thomas. Can't get past Isaiah Garcia.
That's another good battle in the field.
Well, there are many good battles. You've got Gill, the man on the ball. He's up against Justin Cornwall. And then you've got Kayam Thomas up against Isaiah Garcia.
On the flip side, you've got Jordan Riley against
Emmanuel Thomas.
Emmanuel Thomas.
And, well, it's an interesting position he's playing. He's being used as a wing-back. He's a central midfielder, the 18-year-old Emmanuel Thomas. He's used as a wing-back today.
I know Ross Russell Jr. in the squad.
Well, that's something you don't see every day. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he is. Man with the ponytail. High-scoring defender in the tournament, Ross Russell Jr. 4 goals for Terminix Rangers. Although, to be fair, Cameron Purcell of Police has scored 1 more than him. But they've generally been the 2 goal-getters, defenders in the competition. Kera stuck between his legs. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've seen those in WWE, and Gil does not appreciate it at LLH. La Horquetta.
When you look at the defenders in Deportivo Point Fortin, I'm not surprised. Etienne is a very, very rough customer. And that man there in your screen was a very rough customer himself, Reynold Carrington.
What was his nickname again?
Hippo.
Wow, that tells you all you need to know.
Former captain of Trinidad and Tobago national team, and of course assistant coach, the current senior squad. Very talented midfielder, Reynold Carrington. Was our version of Makalele.
Well, he is a free kick expert. He did score last week to help secure his team the title. Some distance this time. He doesn't care when he goes into the side netting. He's really going into a dead ball specialist, Kayam Thomas. Did show his quality in the recent CONCACAF Under-20 Championship. And again, he's produced it on domestic territory as well.
Well, you figure that these players under 20 not only done a good job, but they've been a very valuable presence within the squad.
That's good from Garcia. Service needed to be better.
Yeah, needed the service, James, you're correct. He's done ever so well to get forward.
Well, here's his fullback partner, Justin Cornwall. Omni Baird, heavy touch. Back to Baird. Well defended by the captain, Crichton. And well, they push the fullbacks up, and Kadeem Corbin will try to utilize that space.
Such a tough customer, Garcia.
I've rarely seen Point Fortin fullbacks push as high up the field as I'm seeing today. Any particular reason you think for that? Well, tell me after this.
What a bit of skill there by Guerra. Terrific bit of skill, James. I will answer your question, but wow, what a bit of skill. And the approach is quite simple. It's important that they stretch the park, and more importantly, occupy the wing-backs of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. A team, as you know, is extremely good in transition. You want to make sure that you occupy them, you stretch the field, you play higher up the park, and try to play the football, of course, in Terminix La Horquetta Rangers half of the field.
Andrews up against Cornwall. Oh, he's gone past him. I think it's the first time that anybody's really gotten the best of Cornwall that easily. Baird. Lost it to Emmanuel Thomas. And some room for Garcia to get in behind. Can he get past Corbin?
That's tremendous by Corbin. Outstanding. That's the man who just scored. Back there defending.
I think what many people point out that they love about Corbin is his passion for the game. He never has a switch off moment.
Look at his desire to get there.
Always seems so in tune with the game. Never likes to make a bad pass. No bad defending for that matter.
Well, he puts in an honest shift, and that's what you want. He is considered a senior player on this squad, and easily one of their more important players, and he shows it.
Well, Pacheco needed direction. Deflected, so it's a corner. And Hudson pick out another orange jersey. St. Hilaire couldn't get there, but he has been impeded.
Well, you talk about the high wing backs, James. Also, Point Fortin is trying to be very direct in their approach. They're not allowing Rangers to settle into that normal low block that we see that they get themselves into. Hasn't really worked out for them just yet, but I think it's the right approach.
Four and a half minutes gone. Certainly seen some tantalizing football.
That's a tough challenge there. Not surprised by the man behind it.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. It's run into the toughest cookie. Sturge. Really see the man put him down.
I'm actually surprised he's down.
It's actually usually the other way around.
Well, there may be a cut of some sort, and that's probably the only reason he's gone down. But outside of that, there is certainly ample replacements there. Pick your poison.
They're all just as dangerous.
this here for a challenge. That's what you call taking no prisoners. Ball and man.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Shrugs it off and it's good to go. Might know his older brother. He's a famous lawyer here in Trinidad and Tobago, known as Wayne Sturge.
I'm not sure that went out.
Well, they're applying the vice grip now. Deportivo. It's lost from Pacheco. Back with the team in red. Real Gil turned his man inside out, but he couldn't find the right pass. Real Gil.
Tell you what.
He's a ballerina.
I think that's almost impossible to do in these conditions, and he's done it. Of course, the final pass is just not good enough, but
here's Kaim Thomas against Isaiah Garcia. And he's gotten better of him. Been bailed out by Etienne. Left him for dead, though, Kaim Thomas. Corbin, can he find a way through? Well, Etienne found a way through him. And McDonald doesn't like any bit of it.
I'm not sure what you call that. But Etienne felt that he had a cause to argue.
Wasn't that one of the moves that we saw in Enter the Dragon? Famous Kung Fu movie with Bruce Lee? I'm sure I saw it somewhere there.
Well, it was never a match that would be of equality. When you look at the size of Etienne compared to Corbin, it's only one outcome.
Well, they do have a slight bit of an advantage with a free kick. Ike Manjus stands over it. Always had one idea in his mind, and Marvin Phillip did enough to keep him out. Won back easily by Rangers. Guerra, some space to exploit. He's so silky! And Marvin Phillip, excellent at the near post.
Good bit of skill there, cutting into his left foot. A lot of power. Certainly needed to beat a goalkeeper of that quality, but not in this time.
Another chance perhaps from the corner. Cleared. Not with distance. Gil. Being used on the interior, Real Gil. It's good from Isaiah Garcia. Oh, how did he make that height, Real Gil? Ike Manjus has time. Something you don't want to give a player of his quality. Oh, that's good. And he's been taken down in the wrong area. And that's a no-fly zone. And when you mount an offensive there, there's bound to be a retaliation, and it will be one from 11 yards out.
Well, I'm not surprised by the demonstration being shown here by Deportivo Point Fortin, as they may have felt that this was a soft one. A deep probing ball there by Andrews. Touch. Not sure, James. I leave it for your pronouncement. But I do think it was soft.
Not the fiercest of challenge from Cornwall. Might feel a bit hard done by Chaim Thomas' decision to go down that easily.
Well, I think from the opposite perspective, you just don't put your hands on the player. There's no need. I don't think he would have gone anywhere close to the goal.
And that's goal number 13. Atula Guerra. Well, he's narrowing the gap to the top of the goal scorer chart. And he's extending the gap between Terminix La Horquetta Rangers and Deportivo Point Fortin.
May suggest it's a flattering scoreline. Haven't really created a great deal of chances, Rangers, but they're up by 2 goals, and we talked about their consistency and what they've done throughout this tournament. That's why they're champions. They don't have to play well to get results. That's a... I thought that was a foul.
Well, he stayed down though, Isaiah Hudson. Well, here's another look at how the extension happened. Atula Guerra from the spot.
And we have a look here at the foul. It's a good look at it there. Wow.
Did have a handful of jersey though.
Yeah, he did, and we've seen those given, and you really can't complain if it is given. As a defender, you can't have your hands out like that. Certainly you can't grab the opposing team's apparel in the box. You're asking for trouble. Even if it was soft, and I do still think it was a soft call, but you've put yourself in that position by first having your hands out and then secondly grabbing the shirt.
Well, they'll have a chance to catch a breath though. Enjoy what the fans in the stands are enjoying.
Well, the Angels must be happy. James, they look a happy bunch.
Never seen a sad angel. Certainly not in La Horquetta.
I'm looking at that foul again. Caleb leading with the arm. Well, they've certainly mixed things up here today. Real Gill is in the middle of the park alongside, of course, the 2 deep line midfielders in Crichton and Daniel. Not seen him in that position all tournament, James.
Yeah, it's my first look of it. Look at him in the middle of the field. Interesting matchup. It's contemporary. Certainly going to be his under 20 national teammate Luke Phillip. That's going to be the battle in the middle. Gill versus Phillip. Well, not even the Energizer Bunny can get past that man. Well, they can't find penetration. Maybe Gill can on the opposite end. does get a corner. But it's him who got the final touch, so it will be a goal kick. I haven't seen any of the razzle-dazzle that he usually brings to the party today.
Well, he's coming from a more congested position, which is in the middle of the park. Doesn't have the real estate that he's normally afforded out wide. And it's a different axe. And then you're running into the likes of a guy called Andretti heading back there. It's always going to be difficult.
"18 years old, built like a tank," Emmanuel Thomas. And there's Ross Russell, Joshua Lamb. 2 goalkeepers.
Story of a goalpost.
Well, the pace has been cooled somewhat after the second Rangers goal. Need to get some momentum now, Point Fortin. They've been shell-shocked. Well, if you're a West Indies fan, might not want to hear the bit of news that comes next. It's not that good. They lost by what, 2 runs?
It's about 3 runs, I
to
believe.
India, yeah. First ODI here in Trinidad and Tobago at the Queen's Park Oval. India made 308. West Indies fell at 305. Not good these days at the ODI level. 308 for 7, chasing 309. The West Indies got to 305 for 6. Maybe football can give us a reason to smile. Maybe Pacheco can give the folks of Vance River, Captiville, T-Shea Village something to cheer. Not this time. Well, it's more advanced than I've seen him anytime in the tournament, Isaiah Garcia. He's a cousin of the Garcia brothers. Comes from the Santa Flora region.
He's had a solid tournament as well. It's hard to argue if we've seen a better right back.
Good challenge. Still going though. How about that from Daniel David? He's impressed me this tournament as well. 19 years old. He turned to 20 during the tournament. Certainly seen a wide array of young players come to the fore. Real Gill, Kyle Thomas, Emmanuel Thomas, Daniel David, Luke Phillip, man on the ball. All under the age of 20.
Some promising signs. Add Wilson to that, late addition to the tournament. Josiah Wilson of EC Port of Spain.
Here's Luke Phillip, Checo, Riley. Has he found space? Not this time. Oh, he's left one for dead. Can't get past Thomas. Well, for a man who's not a natural defender, he's done an immaculate job at keeping Jordan Riley quiet. Well, he, of course, secondary school all-star 2016-2017. Son of Roger Riley, another former player, played with St. Benedict's College. He's also a very good musician. He and his sister Maya, they did play in a music festival where he finished second back in 2010. He's got skills. Maybe now, let's see what he can do with the ball this time. Well, here's another man with skills, Kadeem Corbin. And that's excellent defensive maneuverability from Andre Etienne. Paul didn't start the tournament as a starter, came in because of the injury to Wesley John, but what a replacement he's been. His partner Etienne well in defense. Well, they might be 2 goals down, but they're not making it easy for the league leaders, Point Fortin.
But certainly in terms of the run of the game, they've given as good as they have gotten. But they've been unfortunate. A debatable penalty and, of course, a moment of, well, a finishing of brilliance by Corbin. That's really the difference in the game. They have not been overawed by this team, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Good positioning by Emmanuel Thomas. They'll have to try again. Approaching the halfway mark in this fixture. Pacheco. Omri Baird. Looking for Garcia. Well defended by Sturge. Must make note of the conditions. It's not been the easiest conditions. Weather conditions, of course, affecting ground preparation. It's difficult in the middle of the park, particularly.
Well, when it comes to turning and sprinting, it is tough.
Well, that's a good win by Ike Manjus. And here's Gill. This is Etienne. Corbin. Well, that's illegal. They can protest all they want. It's not going to change his mind, Jassy McDonald. A Paul Cornwall mob surrounding the veteran referee.
Switch ball by Gill into Corbin here. Well, I'm not sure. I'll see that, James. I did think there was a 50-50 challenge. And that's it. I think bodies collided after that.
I think he might have been looking at the fact that when he take your eyes off the ball as a defender, you're liable to get calls that go against you that may otherwise have been 50-50.
Well, I think the point is Corbin was not in control of the ball. It has left his area, and maybe that's what Cornwall was disputing, or Paul for that matter.
Who's up for some magic? This man Ike Andrews has scored a few from this distance. Marvin Phillips has stopped many more. No need to. That one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Well, it's always going to be difficult to get it up and down from so close. Difficult skill. But we've seen it in this tournament.
Well, 3 minutes was the allotted time added. He's cut in halfway between that. But the players are not going to complain. They get a rest. He's been a goal scorer. He's also been a goal scorer. And 2 goals to the good for the team in red. The team in orange, well, they might feel a bit unlucky and hard done by the scoreline. But at halftime, it's Terminix La Horquetta Rangers 2. Deportivo 0.40. Let's take a break, and we've got some tasty highlights coming up.
The situation we have here is that these characters, and I refer to them as pests, right? What they are doing is destroying our country, but not on my watch. No street, no turf, no block shall belong to these cockroaches, right? It's no longer business as usual. Happy hour is over. If they don't fear God, at least they will fear Terminix.
Have you considered how your methods could impact on pests across the country?
I find we look after the rights of pests as opposed to the rights of the 1.3 million law-abiding citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. I wonder if Roach Ladden's son come here for the carnival, if you'll interview him, eh?
But how could you defend one shot, one kill?
What, you want me to throw a pillow at him?
I didn't say that.
No, well, if a roach jumps in front of you now, what will you do?
Run.
Oh, Jesus, Lord Father.
Pests bothering you? Call Terminix at 672-5007 or 672-0042 or visit our website at terminix.co.tt for a free quote and consultation. Join our fight against pests.
Lasso Freight Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. Our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We have you covered. Our qualified workmen will get the job done. Boat storages, from our marina, you can easily push off for a family sailing trip. Or out fishing with the boys. Fun.
Well, the music is blaring and the girls are dancing. It's a celebratory mood as Terminix La Horquetta Rangers appear to continue to keep their unbeaten record intact. And the first 45 shows us exactly how that was done. From the time that Jason McDonald blew that whistle, Point Fortin showed that they didn't come to play. Nathaniel Garcia forcing a good save from the goalkeeper, Sintolaire. But then they slept, and he doesn't sleep. The boogeyman, Corbin, getting goal number 1, the opener for Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. On the opposite end, Isaiah Garcia tried to cause trouble. And, well, his shot, Isaiah, not passing the goalkeeper. Ike Andrews tried, hitting the side netting, Kyle Thomas, in fact. And then Guerra, he can pick any lock, but he couldn't pass Marvin Phillip, the doorkeeper. Ikem tried as well, but you don't get over 100 international caps and let those fly past you. Then Guerra forcing the best out of the 38-year-old goalkeeper. And then that happened. Cornwall with a handful of Kyle Thomas jersey. And this man doesn't miss from 11 yards. It's goal number 12 for him, by the way. Listen to the sound of that. Music to the air. 2-0 at halftime, Terminix Rangers. Let's see what the numbers can conjure up for us. And it's an interesting game, Brent.
Well, an interesting one. 18 shots, 7 of the 10 shots from Terminix Rangers on target, 6 of the 8 from Deportivo Point Fortin on target. 8 fouls altogether, 3 for Terminix Rangers and 5 for Deportivo. No cards, red or yellow. 1 offside, a piece for both teams. 2 corners for Terminix Rangers, 5 for corners, 6 saves and 5 saves respectively. A game, of course, of numbers, and only one that counts is the one on the yellow where Terminix Rangers are 2 goals up.
Well, you described this one as a weird fixture. What exactly, in what area?
Well, in terms of the flow of the game, it hasn't been a dominating performance by Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. They certainly, of course, did not, control the game as we look at the starting lineup for Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. St. Hilaire, Andrews, Thomas, Russell, Sturridge, Crichton, Gill, Guerra, Corbin, Thomas and David. In terms of what we've seen from Rangers, as I said, they have not been the dominating performance, certainly not a 2-0 type of performance. When you look at the substitutes bench, there's changes there, the likes of Charles, Ross Russell Jr., of course, to come in, and Isaiah Raymond. So within the grand context of things, James, there's enough there to change things and maybe even change gear for Terminix La Horquetta Rangers.
2-0 to Rangers, but Point Fortin, they've not leaned down or by any stretch of the imagination. Is it possible that they can still get back in this game, or is it a done contest?
I think 1 goal in the first 10 or 15 minutes into, of course, the second half as we take a look at their starting lineup. And when you look at the substitutes, James, the likes of Henry and Akinola Gegri coming on, maybe looking to go at a more progressive front 3 or maybe a 2 and a 1. Of course, Houghton Hector as well, name not listed there, but also we've seen it on the bench as well. And that man there, number 17, Akeem Redhead, another potential goal scorer and match winner. So they're not short of course, choices on the bench. The question is tactically, how do they approach this one? And I think that is going to give, of course, segue into what this second half may present for Deportivo Point Fortin.
Ethan Akhtar did not start, just returning from injury. How big an impact has his absence been, and can he make a difference coming back this evening?
Well, they've gone a bit direct in the first 45 minutes. They've played their wing backs high, as you would have observed, James, and they've tried to play balls into Omri Bread, hopefully in of course, moving the team faster up the pitch as well as to counter the transition that we normally see from Rangers. But they still miss that creativity, that player, that number 10 that can take the ball and create goal-scoring opportunities and carve opportunities open. We haven't seen that throughout the 45 minutes from Deportivo. As much as their build-up player and in some instances in the middle of the park have been good, it still has not been potent, and that's why we haven't seen any real goal-scoring opportunities for Deportivo Point Fortin.
Well, let's rewind and look back at last weekend, and there was one player that stood up above others, and he's a Campari Player of the Week, and played in this match. Man from Lambo, Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago former international, Trevin Cesar, getting not one, but 2 goals for Cunupia. They got a win over Real Westport, and his 2 goals has made him our Campari Player of the Match. $500. Well, that's a ticket to Tobago, and you can get some bacon shark on the beach from Mrs. Trim as well. Well, it's time to take a break, and when we come back, buckle up, grab a drink, because we've got a hectic second half coming up when we return here at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground.
Frame Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. At our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We have you covered. Our qualified workmen will get the job done. Boat storages, from our marina, you can easily push off for a family sailing trip. Out fishing with the boys. Or a fun DDI experience with friends. Repairs, secured parking, extensive camera system, boat charters, boat rentals, down the island parties. Contact us at 1-868-634-1653. Lasso Frame Maritime Limited.
The situation we have here is that these characters, and I refer to them as pests, right? What they are doing is destroying our country, but not on my watch. No street, no turf, no block shall belong to these cockroaches, right? It's no longer business as usual. Happy hour is over. If they don't fear God, at least they will fear Terminix.
Have you considered how your methods could impact on pests across the country?
I find we look after the rights of pests as opposed to the rights of the 1.3 million law-abiding citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. I wonder if Roach Ladden's son come here for the carnival if you'll interview him, eh?
But how could you defend one shot, one kill?
Well, the ground staff has been working overtime, even at halftime, while everybody rested to get this ground in tip-top condition. And that's because it's a classic match at the moment taking place at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground, one in which Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, they lead by 2-0. Hard at work. Hardest working ground staff in Trinidad and Tobago, Brent.
Yeah, by a country mile. They've done a terrific job, not just in preparing the game for games, but also, of course, during the halftime period where we've seen them roll, patch, and cut in some instances. It's not been easy. It's rained a lot here in Trinidad, and more importantly, right here in La Horquetta, have seen some torrential downpours, but nevertheless, we still have sometimes, in most cases, near perfect facilities to play in, or to play on.
Well, I must share my condolences to the family of Bish Dash, the former Star Wars Strikers winger, passed away sadly earlier today. Certainly would have played with many, including that man wearing the number 1, Marvin Phillip, former teammate of his at Star Wars Striker. So we do send condolences to his family, and our prayers are with you. In La Horquetta, it's a festive moment. Already been crowned champions, and with 45 minutes down, they seem to be continuing their unbeaten trend. And here comes the reinforcements. Tyrone Charles and Ross Russell Jr., both players with international pedigree, have joined the attack for them. I'll tell you in a sec who are the players that have been replaced. It's not unusual to see big changes being made at halftime for Rangers, and they might feel that they are in control. Omni Baird was part of the Trinidad and Tobago bronze medal team at the Futsal Pan American Cup just a few weeks ago, and they would need him and company to be on the score sheet for Point Fortin to get them back in contention in this match. They trail by 2-0. But Emmanuel Thomas is one of the players confirmed to have been replaced, as well as Kaim Thomas. So 2 Thomases have been replaced, and in their stead have come in Charles and Russell.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's a Hail Mary. They needed prayers, but not like that.
Well, I don't think I've seen that attempt on goal ever. I'm not even going to say in a while, but ever.
Yeah, this level goalkeepers generally better, and well, defenders as well. Psyche Manju's found out. Quick off the mark, Ronald Paul.
When I was looking at St. Hilaire's position, he wasn't even off the line, so I'm not sure the reason for trying it.
Self-confidence.
Well, there you go.
I gave graduation speeches about those. Didn't mean it that literally.
Well, case in point, my friend.
Chase on for Sturge. Helped out by Daniel David. Looking for Corbin. Couldn't wrap his boot around it. Chance. Oh, how about that? He's been sent out as a messenger, and the message has been delivered. And they can dance to celebrate its success. Tyrone Charles is a rock star. Marvin Phillip, a statue.
Well, he's only been on the pitch for a matter of seconds. And what about that for an introduction? An absolute belter. A shot of a champion. And I tell you what a strike by Charles. As the adoration by all is to be seen. Even a rare smile by the man in charge, Mr. Ferguson.
I tell you what, the Met office would have recorded that. That one shook the Richter scale. What a goal that was from Tyrone Charles. Out of nothing.
When you look at the angle and you look at the distance as well, James, and of course the man between the sticks, he just didn't think he was going to strike from there. What a strike. I think that was his first touch of the game. How are they going to dig themselves out of this one? Or can they?
Well,
look at this again. Look at the pace in that.
Tell you what, Simo Heha is well known as the world's greatest sniper, the Finnish marksman. Add Tyrone Charles to that list. And Jordan Riley, well, he doesn't qualify shots like that. Heha, by the way, he's credited with over 501 scalps as a sniper. Just in case you wondered who he was. Finnish sniper that served in the Winter War 1939 to 1940. Tyrone Charles is in that category. He's a sniper. Well, here's Guerra to Charles. He has the hot feet at the moment. No foul. Daniel David. It's a bad giveaway. And another bad giveaway. Here's Gill. This is what we're familiar with. Well, I'm surprised that that was not called. He's gotten away with it. Can they make use of a chance? It's Garcia. Well, did well in the end, Etienne. Tracked the flight of it all the way. Guerra has Andrews with him. Oh, look at that burst of pace. Look at that challenge. Still alive though. Philip. Paul. Isaiah Garcia. Can't pick a pass. It's Corbin. Scored one of 3 goals for the team in red this evening. Oh. Showing happy feet as well. Oh, there we go. There's a call. ahead. And, well, it was a chance that Hudson couldn't convert. It's not that they're not getting chances.
Well, they're looking at the goal. They've had sight of the goal. As I said, the execution, the actual putting the ball in the back of the net hasn't been as good as it should be. But I think if you were looking at the game and you took the goals out of it, certainly it's not a 3-0 game. But then it just shows that, of course, how potent they can be in front of goal.
Philip. Lost that battle to Gill, but he's won it back and he's given it away just as quickly. Certainly a player with quality, Luke Phillip. His passing game has not really shown that quality. Maybe Jordan Riley or Garcia can show some here.
That's a good tackle by Sturge.
Daniel David. Wow. Paul is a rough boy, isn't he? Daniel David did stand his ground though. Well, here's a change that we anticipated. It's in the making. They've got an army that needs a general. That general will have to wait though, because it's a corner to Terminix Rangers. There he is, the general himself, Hudson Hector. One of 3 changes being lined up. Point Fortin find themselves in a huge pit at the moment. Need someone to bail them out. So it's time for changes to be made. Ezekiel Kisa, a youth MVP at the Pro League level, will come in. 2015 Youth Pro League MVP. And of course this man, Hudson Hector, 33 caps and 7 goals for the Trinidad and Tobago national team. CFU Club champion winner in 2008. And a man with a whole heap of experience. More importantly, he scores goals. So too does this man, Corbin. Akeem Redhead has also been the other player included for Deportivo. Of the 3 players that have come on, they're all goal scorers.
It's a positive change. They know they need to get themselves back into this one, and the only way they can is by, of course, getting their creative players and their goal-scoring threats onto the pitch. Hasn't been a good second half by Deportivo so far. Maybe a bit shell-shocked.
Third goal certainly knocked some wind out of them. Cornwall. Luke Phillip. Looking for Redhead. Too far ahead for him. Oh, there's your friends, Brent.
Well, I'm trying to figure out who's the fourth wheel.
I'm wondering that myself. I'm jealous.
That's what happens when every game you're promoted, you get additionals.
Yeah, that's the price of fame.
If it's part of their rider.
Looking for Guerra. Oh, the rhythm. Just brings the atmosphere to life every Friday. Can't imagine football in Trinidad and Tobago without that and a resident Nutsman. So Nuts landing is somewhere wrong.
Well, you just have to keep your eye on, of course, our audio men. They're the ones that follow them. The Nutsmen, that is.
Here's Guerra. Oh, that's a wild elbow. And he's fortunate not to be penalized for it. Has his eyes set on the golden boot. It's 2 goals behind Brent Sam, who is the leader. So he believes he can scale that height. He's got 1 game remaining after this. Sam and Defence Force, of course, play against Central FC tomorrow at the Arima Velodrome. Maybe he can get something here. Andrews. Good header. Then comes off Etienne. Garcia. Newton Hector. Oh.
That's experience.
Certainly is.
That's good interception. Oh, that's a good ball.
Should be in here, Kisa.
Oh.
And Ross Russell Jr. is in some trouble. Oh, the flag might have been up and it has come like a life raft in the middle of the Pacific because it saved them potentially being sent for an early shower.
Yeah, this looks a shade offside there. I tell you what, you're correct in what you're saying, James. Can't see how he would have survived that one.
Another chance, maybe. Not to be.
You think with a penalty kick and a man sent off, may have been what you needed, of course, to get this game back to some parity, or at least the indications of it. You just feel, James, if Deportivo could get the next goal, it may put some wind underneath their sails and may give them the energy, of course, to mount a revival.
Well, that's not what he intended. Not what Cornwall wanted as well. Coaching staff, Kelvin Modest, super. Of course, Rondell Renrick, former goalkeeper. And coaches, Reno Carrington, Selborne Francis. That's what success looks like, just for the part. Dave Pomina, coach of Terminix Rangers. Russell. Sturge. It's Ike Andrews.
It's a good turn. Excellent turn.
When he's fit, he's certainly a touch of class, Andrews. It's one a corner. Does have his hamstring heavily bandaged. Suffered with injury much of this season. He's Caribbean Youth Cup winner.
It looks like he's struggling now. All of that is down to your body mechanics, and maybe something he needs to work on. Obviously in the off season, it's the simplest of change in mechanisms that could alter, as you can see, the heavily bandaged hamstring. They have the capable person, of course, in Meccano in their staff. I'm very sure he will rectify that.
Well, got the touch it needed, not the direction from Tyrone Charles. Another change, and it's Andrew Pacheco who will make his way off, and Akinola Gregory who will come in. 5 goals for Point Fortin, makes him their highest scorer in the competition. Joint leader with Isaiah Hudson. The intention is clear. Hector. Oh. It's Mozart as he leads his orchestra. Such a composer, Ethan Hector. Can he help get them back in, or maybe Redhead now? And good challenge to deny Hector. That's very composed from Rangers. Yes, Real Gill. Hector.
That's naughty. That's very, very naughty.
Slate as well. And it earned him a greeting card of the yellow variety. Hello, naughty boy.
I tell you, he's very lucky to stay on the pitch. Studs showing late and certain impact on the opposing player. Talk about a defender that walks the tightrope.
Hector. And easy for St. Hilaire. Garcia. Cornwall. Redhead. And a good challenge from Gill. Well, he's a smiling man. Can Point Fortin give Salima McCree, the mayor, something to smile about in Point Fortin? Huge footballing community. In fact, the mayor, the husband, you might remember him, Nicholson Thomas, the former Derby Connection and St. Benedict's player. Call him Iceman. He would certainly want something to cheer them up at the moment.
When you talk about a community that's fully in love with football, it has to be Point Fortin. I know we've touched on the type of players and who they've produced, but I think the list just goes on and on and on.
Hector Garcia. Kiera, chased by Cornwall. That's a battle that he will not win. Well, the big talk this week, Caribbean Ascension tournament, slated potentially for October this year. And, well, most of the teams here would be playing to try and get a place in that. It does come off the ground, but it's a phenomenal idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea, and of course, more importantly, it gives the local players here in Trinidad and Tobago the opportunity to play international football. That's what you want, really, for your players to be exposed to different countries and, of course, different challenges. And I'm very sure that the fans here at La Horquetta would love to see the champions of Jamaica, or the champions of Grenada, or the rest of the Caribbean here in our shores, up against their favorite Ascension teams.
Possibilities are delicious, to say the least. You've done a lot of work in Jamaica, Harbour View perhaps, local soil. They did have their youth team across in Tobago a weekend ago.
With some positive results as well for Harbour View. I'm always posed with that question in terms of the quality of football compared, well, quality of football here in Trinidad compared to Jamaica, of course. And there is a lot of similarities, a lot of parity as well. And it would be intriguing to see if those teams were able to, of course, connect. And play against each other. Some healthy prizes as well, James. That was reported in the media. $20,000 possible first prize for that tournament.
Delicious. Oh, that's good. Ike Manchus took out Luke Phillip. Well, Corbin has to be careful there to react after the whistle had gone. Well, they might not win this match this evening, Deportivo Point Fortin. What do you think they've done well in the competition Ascension tournament this season?
Well, they've certainly entertained and they've certainly shown their pedigree, and understandably so, because of the types of players that they have within their ranks. We obviously talked throughout this tournament about the type of players they produce in Point Fortin, so certainly a community team. But you'd have to think at the start of this, fitness was certainly a concern. And of course, they were disjointed because they're not an actual team in that sense. And of course, as it went on, they've come not only impressive individually, but also cohesive as a team, and even became a team that most teams in this tournament feared to play. And results have shown that. That's a goal.
Oh, it's a very good goal as well. And Akeem Redhead has done exactly what he's been sent to do. Muted celebration, understandable, but it certainly gives them something to fight for in the closing minutes.
Well, that man again, Hector, what a classy delivery. But that's just poor defending. Straightforward, that's your man. Don't let him beat you to the ball. And unfortunately, Rangers defender allowed that.
Well, could there be more where that came from? Kisa. Oh, that's good. It's even better defending from Joel Leslie Russell.
That's good recovery. Excellent recovery. It's very rare you see him beaten for pace. He was for a slight moment. He certainly rectified that. Got his body in the right position. And ended up shutting the door. Now, James, I think another goal here by Deportivo may just put the cats around the pigeon.
For a neutral fan, certainly something they'd want to see.
That's been the story of the second half for Deportivo. It's been sloppy in some patches. And as we well know, James, you can't be sloppy against this Rangers team. You'll be punished.
It's well won by Etienne. Drives forward. Oh, that's good. From the center back. Redhead! Might have gotten a touch into there. The referee disagrees. My word, that was a smoker.
Well, it's a surgeon run there by Etienne. Finds Redhead. I tell you, there was a lot of action on that ball, both from a velocity standpoint and of course a movement standpoint.
Well, it's not over till it's over. Since Hector's come on, it's been a different look about this Point Fortin team. More positive in attacking areas. That's good from Tyrone Charles. Needed some direction.
Well, he's certainly come on and left his print on this half. You have to admire that from an elder statesman in the team. Some may argue that he may deserve more playing time, certainly from a starting perspective, and he hasn't had it, but certainly doesn't look like he doesn't play like he's unhappy about that.
Good from Luke Phillip, 18-year-old, winning a corner. Oh, it's a goal kick. Thought the defender might have gotten a touch. There's a man down in the far right of your screen, and well, it's real Gill. Not for the first time this evening.
Well, he's worked extremely hard in an unfamiliar position for us, because we've not seen him there, and he's had to put in the miles.
Let's see, inside of his thigh that they are attending to.
Here's a situation again. Maybe a case of weary legs, because defensive duties have been upped in this game. But certainly more than what he's used to.
Hector. Akinola Gregory. Oh, he's won that battle. Can he find space here? Pick out a teammate.
It's a good ball. It's a good idea. I think he caught everyone flat-footed, inclusive of the defenders of Rangers and his teammates.
Certainly did.
That's a good ball.
Good catch as well.
Good positive goalkeeping.
Yes, Tyrone Charles on the other end. Marvin Phillip is quick.
That's excellent.
Wow.
It's unusual.
One that won fair and square according to referee McDonald.
But effective.
Yes, Hector. He's got ton loads of space. And the goal scorer, Akeem, is offside this time. Akeem Redhead. I'll say top of the evening, wherever you're locked on in the Caribbean or around the world. To all the folks on our online platforms, good evening to you. Oh, we're busy in the chat trying to pinpoint a man of the match. They're doing a better job than me. I still can't tell you. Here's Cornwall. Phillip. And that's a foul by Tyrone Charles. Taken quickly. Space for Kisa. And here is Kadeem Corbin. Off to the races. Tyrone Charles is with him. So too Real Gill. Oh, he's done well, Gill. Back to Corbin. Behind he misses! Well, this time, the chair of the crowd is in disbelief. He found the side netting. That's a rare sighting.
Was a good bit of skill there by Gill, eventually getting Corbin in with a chance. Just couldn't finish.
Is there one final roll of the dice for Deportivo Point Fortin? Well, they have a free kick. Got snipers on the field. Hector, Garcia, we've seen what both of them can do from this sort of range. Did play in Vietnam, 45 goals, 45 appearances, 14 goals for Song Lam, as well as 23 for Hanoi TNT. Might remember he also scored that equalizer for Derby Connection in the CONCACAF Champions League against the New York Red Bulls. Was a spectacular goal then. They need one of those right now.
And I think if you were to have a conversation about the top 5 players to play professionally here in Trinidad, he's there.
Not this time from Nathaniel Garcia.
Probably Marvin Oliver would also be part of that list.
Most certainly will.
The impact and what they've done, and the success they've had, both individually and of course collectively.
Longevity as well.
And longevity, correct.
Might add Kerry Batiste to that list, you think? Or there's an up moment for you as well? And it's this young star, Tyrone Charles, the sniper. Nothing Marvin Phillip could do. Sportsmax that moment. Gonna dedicate that one to Sharika Jackson, the Jamaican sprint queen. Shelly Ann Fraser Price. Good evening to all our Jamaican viewers. Look at the track and field.
Yeah, excellent so far. World Championship. I was thinking that the Ascension was overly entertaining, and here comes the World Athletics. It's a cheeky ball.
Well, counting down to 90 minutes, and it's difficult to name a man of the match. Hopefully, our friends on the live feed can help us out as well.
Maybe Leslie Russell at the back.
Oh, bit of a rest for Jamal Crichton. He's been tireless in the middle of the field. It's quite solid for this Terminix La Horquetta Rangers team.
we know we talk a lot about the explosiveness of the attacking displays that we've seen from La Horquetta Rangers, but I think defensively today they've been very solid. Especially Leslie Russell at the back.
Yeah, tend to agree with you. See, goals win matches, defense win championships, and Leslie Russell has been quite solid and commanding together with this guy, Caleb Sturge. Oh, no luck there for Akinola Gregory. Bit of frustration.
Well, it's always difficult when you play with a team that's very offensive minded and of course have a bevy of offensive players. You not only have to be on your game defensively, but more importantly, sometimes you find yourself very isolated.
Wow, got his wires crossed there, Kareem Corbin. Just wonder what sort of impact he would have had if he had come on earlier. One final change for Point Fortin. And it's Anderson Morrison who will get a look in. Places Isaiah Garcia. So we're into borrowed time at the moment. Maybe Guerra, maybe not. That's good for Mikey Manjus. Unlucky from Corbin. It's not been the easiest ground conditions, but the players have still managed to pull out an entertaining fixture. Tick-a-tock goes the clock, and well, expect that this place will erupt in celebration at the final whistle. They've already been confirmed as the league champions, Terminix Rangers. A win will certainly crown off what has been a wonderful week for them. Still like to get his name on the score sheet again. Guerra. Maybe Cornwall can get a nice consolation. And, well, Redhead just needed direction. Didn't get it.
Just been poor. for Deportivo, to their standards, has not had the quality that we would have expected from them here tonight.
Might be the last kick of the game. It is the last kick of the game. And an entertaining fixture. And one that was even more entertaining for the home crowd. They saw their team and that man entertain them with football, with goals, and certainly lots of heart. Point Fortin, they came, they fought, but in the end, not good enough, as the league leaders remain unbeaten. And they will celebrate long into the evening as they have consummated their championship winning run with a 3-1 victory over Deportivo Point Fortin. Let's look back at some of the highlights over the 90 minutes of action. Deportivo came out early, no nonsense attitude. Barry St-Hilaire was alert, but at the other end, Corbin, he was as well. Opening and scoring early, typical Corbin style. Point Fortin tried to counter with Garcia, but even Isaiah Hudson couldn't beat St-Hilaire. And then that happened. Chance from Kyle Thomas grazing the side netting. And then Guerra, wrong side of the upright. Ike Andrews tried his luck as well. Marvin Phillips, a bundle of experience in goal, was not to be beaten. And he proved that to his former international teammate Guerra. But even Alcatraz can be broken down, especially when you make errors at the back. And Atula Guerra scored his team's second, his 13th goal of the campaign. And that made it 2-0 to Terminix Rangers. That's how it stayed at the half. And in the second, super sub Tyrone Charles from way downtown. Check out the celebration. And that's exactly why that celebration was needed. And then Cherry, Deportivo getting a consolation. 3-1. They had chances, but they didn't have the luck to follow it. Corbin could have made it 4, but even he could not live up to his high standards. In the end, it was enough. 3-1, the score to Terminix Rangers. Well, let's see what the numbers say. And, well, they certainly were not outboxed in this fixture. Deportivo having more shots, 17 as compared to Terminix Rangers, 13. 9 of those were on target. However, the main difference, if you can go down further, 8 saves for Terminix Rangers. And that proved to be the difference in the end between the teams, together with the amount of goals scored, as 3 were in favor of Terminix Rangers over Deportivo Point Fortin. Well, they say goals win matches, but defense win championship. And Brent Sancho is standing by with a defender, Leslie Russell, who is our man of the match.
Well, of course, Leslie, a good result here tonight. We talk so much about Rangers offense. Tell us about your defense and your performance here tonight.
First of all, thank you, Brent. I just want to say hats off to Rangers. Also, I want to say thanks to Deportivo. I thought, they were resilient. I thought they had a good season, but in saying that, we are a championship team. I thought we were resilient throughout the whole tournament. As they're saying, our strikers win the game, but defense win the championship. And I just want to say thanks to all the guys.
Well, of course, coming into this fixture, already won the tournament. Complacency could have stepped in, but it was a professional performance. Talk us through your team's 3 points here tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. We wanted to stay focused. We wanted to finish undefeated, and that was the main focus, and we did that.
Well, of course, your partnership in the back and, of course, your defensive resilience that you spoke about was the reason why you kept yourselves into the game. Tell us about the importance of the defense for Rangers as we talk so much about the offense.
Yeah, most definitely. I thought, in training we stressed so much on our defense, We always work on trying to keep a clean sheet and, we didn't get it today, but that's unfortunate, but we still finished the game strong.
Well, again, congratulations to our man of the match, Leslie Russell. And, of course, congratulations in winning the Ascension tournament and all the best for the rest of the tournament.
Thanks, Ben.
The man of the match, of course, Leslie Russell. And we talk so much about the offensive power of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, but today, defensively, they were solid, they were resilient, and of course, they went away with all 3 points. I'm now, of course, joined by coach of Deportivo, Point 14, Coach Selvin. Disappointing result. Where did it go wrong for Deportivo?
I just thinking tonight that anytime you see we miss the early chances, they just keep throwing us off. We had to start to put pressure early in the game with the chances. We had to take the chances early and probably had to set the tone for the game. Because we noticed that as the chances fall for Rangers, they're taking it. All right.
Of course, you try to go a bit more direct, try to catch Rangers in the transition. Was that a plan coming into this game?
Yeah, from the beginning, I said we're supposed to take them off with our game, take them out of it playing our game, and that's what we tried, but it didn't work out tonight.
Well, a disappointing result. There were moments and patches in the game where you could have gotten back into it. Of course, the introduction of Hector brought a spark. Did you think you missed him from the start?
Yeah, Hector is carrying an injury, the reason why we couldn't start him. So we know that we could get about 35 minutes off of him, so we tried to get from that in the back, so it didn't work this game, but we're pushing on.
Well, of course, Coach Selvin, congratulations on your team's performance throughout the tournament. Congratulations tonight's performance, and all the best for the rest of the tournament.
Okay.
Coach Selvin of Deportivo Point 14, certainly one of the teams in the tournament this year's edition of Ascension. They put in some classy performances. I'm now joined by the winning team's lead person, Mr. Richard Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson, of course, 3 points tonight. Undefeated streak continues on. You think you're going to get to the finish line undefeated?
Well, first of all, let me say Deportivo is an excellent team. They are probably the best defensive team in the tournament, and you can see it by the stats. The amount of goals they conceded, I think, is very, very small, and it's very difficult to score on them. I think what we did tonight was we changed the formation a bit. We played 3 at the back, played 5 in our midfield, and so we kind of attacked with 7 players. And I think we went out in the hope of scoring more goals, because they are a very, very difficult team to break down, and you can see they're very well coached, and their players, they are excellent in the midfield, and they fight and they tackle, make it very difficult. So they played an excellent game.
Well, we've seen the movement of players, Real Gil playing in the middle of the park, of course, Emmanuel Thomas playing at left back. Is it very important to make sure that your young players, of course, can play in different positions in the pitch?
Absolutely, and I think what we do is we try to rotate players. We try to put them in different positions so that they would learn those different positions, and it would improve their game. Because I think the way we play is that we all attack when we have the ball, and we all defend when we don't have the ball. So we need everybody to be defensive and offensive.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Ferguson, again on winning the tournament, and congratulations on winning all 3 points here tonight, and all the best for the rest of this tournament.
Thanks a lot, Brent.
That is Mr. Richard Ferguson, of course, the lead person at Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, and more importantly, the spearhead behind this Ascension tournament, a tournament that would have had tremendous success in what we've seen here tonight, James. Of course, a good result for Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, and a good result for football in general, as Deportivo Point 14 would have proved to be a good opposition for this Rangers team.
Yeah, well, we certainly asked early in the tournament, can they do it? Can they progress? Can they remain unbeaten? And playing with just 1 wrong to go, they've certainly done that, and they've been unbeaten. What do you credit for the success of this Terminix La Horquetta Rangers team and the way that they've managed to go unbeaten in this competition? They have faced challenges. They've only dropped 2 matches, 2 points in matches, but they've remained unbeaten. What is the key to that?
I think they've found ways to win football games, and that's what wins you a tournament. They're street smart in what they do. They understand and are very comfortable within their skin. And more importantly, I think each player within the squad understands their role to a very high level. And because of that, and you add that together, you have a championship winning team. And not just a championship winning team, but a team that has been undefeated so far in this tournament.
Well, we've got lots of matches coming up over the weekend, and we invite you to stay tuned to check out some of those. And it starts tomorrow at the Arima Velodrome. Central Soccer World, they come up against Real Westford, and that match is at 5 p.m. And then at 7, Defence Force, they're in second place at the moment, and they'd hope to stay there as they take on Central FC. On Sunday, another chasing team, Police FC, just 1 point behind the Defence Force. They'll be hoping to get something positive when they take on Maruga Football Club, who are on a high after getting their first 3 points in the tournament. So still lots to play for. That battle for second place is really heating up between the Defence Force and Police.
Yeah, the second place battle is heating up, and of course the goal scoring battle as well would have ignited tonight. But of course with both Corbin and Tula Guerra finding the back of the net, chasing Brent Sam. So still a lot to play for here in the Ascension tournament. Still entertaining football, and of course still the place to be on a Friday night.
Well, I tell you what, celebration time. It's always a celebration every single Friday here in La Horquetta. They've got live entertainment coming up, and the champions, still waiting for them to pop that champion. Maybe we'll see that another time, but we end our coverage here this evening. We thank you so much for being with us as we brought all of the action to you. We've got 1 weekend remaining, and we hope to see you next Friday right here at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground. On behalf of myself, James Saunders, Brent Sancho, my co-commentator, and the rest of the crew here at Sportsmax, we wish you a fantastic evening. Goodbye for now.